Long ago, in the ancient kingdom of Umwagu, surrounded by thick forests and rivers that shimmered like glass under the sun, there lived a man named Odogwu the Mighty. His name alone could silence a gathering. His strength was said to be that of 10 men, and his anger burned hotter than the sun at noon. Odogwu had once been a defender of Umwagu, the people's protector, the king's most trusted warrior. But pride grew in his heart like a poisonous weed. After years of praise and songs of his victories, he began to think himself greater than the throne itself. "Why should I serve a man who sits while I fight?" he muttered one evening. "I, Odogwu, am the true power of Umwagu." And so began the terror. Odogwu turned his spear against his own people. He raided villages, burned farms, and took whatever he wanted. Fear spread across Umwagu like wildfire. No one dared challenge him, not even the king's royal guards. When the king, Is-Obidike, heard of the warriors' rebellion, he summoned his mightiest men. They marched to Odogwu's compound to arrest him. But Odogwu, laughing like thunder, met them at the gates. He roared, "Who among you will face me, Odogwu the Lion of War?" Before the sun could set, the ground of Umwagu was stained red. The king's men fell one after another, and Odogwu stood unshaken, his spear wet with blood. Furious, the king declared, "Odogwu, you have dishonored the gods. You will pay for this treason." But Odogwu only laughed. "No, my king, you will pay." That night, under a moon veiled by dark clouds, Odogwu and his men stormed the royal palace. The cries of the king's household echoed through the kingdom. By dawn, Is-Obidike's family lay slain, except for one. The king's youngest son, Prince Chima, barely 12 years old, was saved by the bravery of Adis, his father's personal maid. While chaos filled the palace, Adis wrapped the prince in a tattered cloth, smeared ashes on his face, and whispered, "From this moment, you are no longer a prince, you are my son." As Odogwu's men searched the palace, Adis slipped out through a secret tunnel beneath the king's chamber. For days they walked through forests and rivers, hiding from Odogwu's spies. The little prince wept each night, remembering his father's voice. "Be strong, my prince," Adis said softly. "A lion's cub may hide, but he is still a lion." After many days, they arrived at a faraway village called Obinagu, a land known for its wrestlers and hunters. There, an old man named Nana the Great took them in. Nana was once the strongest wrestler in the eastern lands, but old age had bent his back and silvered his hair. When he heard Adis' story, he said, "The gods brought this boy to me for a reason. I will raise him as my own and teach him the ways of strength and honor." Years passed like the flowing of a great river. Prince Chima grew under the care of Nana. The old warrior trained him in wrestling, spear fighting, and the sacred art of silence and patience. "Strength without wisdom is a curse," Nana often said. "A true warrior fights not to destroy, but to restore." At dawn, Chima trained until sweat covered his skin like rain. By noon, he hunted with the village men. And at night, he sat by the fire, listening to tales of heroes and kings. When he turned 20, Chima entered the village wrestling contest. He defeated every opponent with such grace and power that people began to whisper, "Who is this young lion? His hands strike like lightning, and his spirit burns like fire." Nana smiled proudly. "He is the son of destiny," he said. News of Chima's victory spread across neighboring lands, and even reached Umwagu, the kingdom still under Odogwu's cruel rule. One evening, as the sun set behind the hills, Chima knelt before Nana. "Father," he said, "the time has come. I have learned your ways, and my heart burns with the desire to free my people. I must return to Umwagu." The old man placed a trembling hand on his shoulder. "Go, my son. But remember, a lion does not roar before the hunt. Move with wisdom, strike with justice." With Adis beside him, now older and frail but still faithful, Chima journeyed back to the land of his birth. When he saw the once golden kingdom now darkened by fear, his heart burned within him. He called out to the people, "Sons and daughters of Umwagu, rise. The true heir has returned." Odogwu, hearing this, laughed bitterly. "So the cub returns to face the lion. Come, boy, meet your death." The two warriors faced each other in the great square. The people gathered, their hearts trembling. Odegu struck first, his spear moved like lightning, but Chima dodged. They wrestled fiercely, dust rising, echoes of power shaking the earth. Odegu roared, "You cannot defeat me. I am the king of war." But Chima's eyes blazed. "No. You are the slave of pride." With a mighty cry, Chima lifted Odegu and slammed him to the ground. The sound echoed across the kingdom. The warrior who once terrorized Umwogu lay still. The people shouted, "Long live Chima. The lion has returned." Chima rebuilt his father's palace, restored justice, and forgave those who had followed Odegu out of fear. He made Adis the royal mother of the court and honored Nana as the greatest warrior of all time. And in his wisdom, he declared, "Let this be a lesson to every man, that pride destroys, but humility restores. A true warrior serves, not rules by fear." The people of Umwogu danced for 7 days, drums echoing across the hills. Peace returned to the land, and the story of the prince who became a lion was told for generations. Moral of the story: power without wisdom leads to destruction, but humility turns strength into greatness.